I'm Graham Spanier, president of Penn State. Allow me to update you on the state of our university. As President George Atherton said, I understand full well that my path is not to be strewn with roses. But if devotion and hard work and singleness of purpose can accomplish anything, we can win. Adversity is no stranger at Penn State, and along with the rest of the nation, we've seen our share of it this past year. Yet Penn State's pioneering vision and heritage have endured and in some ways thrived despite the economic downturn. We are fortunate. Penn State remains America's most popular university, receiving a record-setting 107,000 applications for admission this year. We have 93,000 students studying at our 24 campuses and through our online World Campus, and 500,000 alumni make us proud every day. I'm grateful to Penn State's 44,000 full and part-time employees who have taken on increased workloads, sacrificed salary increases, reduced expenses, and contributed in countless ways to enable us to hold down tuition increases and maintain the quality of our programs. As I begin my 15th year as president of Penn State, I feel privileged to be a part of one of the most noble of endeavors, preparing future leaders for every sector of our society. For every individual, education is much more than a personal benefit. It is a societal good that is the foundation for developing character, conscience, citizenship, and social responsibility. Penn State is changing the world, and through the example of our faculty, students, and staff, I want to show you how.
Penn State ranks #1 in engineering and material sciences.
Penn State is second in defense-related research.
We rank 3rd nationally in industry-sponsored research.
With annual research expenditures approaching $750 million, Penn State ranks among the leaders worldwide. We excel in industry-sponsored research. Last year, 750 companies were engaged in Penn State research partnerships, putting us at the top in the nation. Dr. Heath Hoffman, Associate Professor of Electrical Engineering, has been working on the car of the future, and it is sleek, stylish, and electric. His research into fuel-efficient, sustainable, and affordable vehicles continues at Penn State with the PSU Advanced Vehicle Team and the Eco-Car Competition.
The Penn State Advanced Vehicle Team is a collection of undergraduate and graduate level students developing actual hybrid electric vehicles from stock conventional vehicles. Hybrid electric vehicles will be a crucial part of the future energy policy of this country. So developing engineers who are capable of designing these machines is really critical.
Dr. Sridhar Anandakrishnan conducts much of his research using another type of vehicle, a snowmobile.
The work that I'm doing is understanding how the ice in Antarctica and in Greenland is changing today. Going out there and measuring its thickness, its flow speed, the stuff underneath it, and then bringing that information back and working with the numerical modelers, the computer modelers, to build better models for what the future of this massive ice looks like. The impact of the work that I do is to understand how the loss of ice in Antarctica and in Greenland will affect sea level.
Dr. Nina Jablonski, professor and head of the Department of Anthropology, is helping us better understand our own skin through her research. This year she appeared on NPR, CBS Sunday Morning, The Colbert Report, and in many leading publications with Skin, a book that explores how skin works and why it is important to our day-to-day health and well-being.
Melanin pigment protects our skin against the breakdown of particular vitamins that are essential to life and reproduction, and more of it is necessary if you live in a high ultraviolet environment, like near the equator. I see this bringing people together in new communities of understanding, and that's fantastic.
An exciting example of the interdisciplinary approach to research has mammoth implications. Just consider the work of Dr. Stephan Schuster, professor of biochemistry and molecular biology, and Dr. Webb Miller, professor of biology and computer science and engineering. Their work is linked to the past, but may unlock the knowledge that will protect today's endangered species. Time magazine recently listed both among the world's 100 most influential people.
We read the genome sequence of the woolly mammoth. First time anybody had done that for an extinct animal.
We have pretty much opened a window to the past. It was believed that all the genetic information was lost. But by our technology, we gain access to this information again, and we can not only find out about the genetic makeup of an extinct animal, but we can also study the populations that have lived. I think really what was the breakthrough in making this project happen was it was a collaborative effort that brought together two very complementary sets of skills between two faculty.
We need each other because the range of skills that you need to do this well is really huge.
Collaboration extends beyond campus boundaries as well. Dr. Michael Kenny, assistant professor of political science and public policy at Penn State Harrisburg, is collaborating with Dr. John Horgan of Penn State's International Center for the Study of Terrorism on a project for the Office of Naval Research.
The study of terrorism by its very nature is multidisciplinary. No one academic discipline can possibly have the monopoly over the study of terrorism. If you want to understand how terrorists think, adapt, learn, and change, we have no choice but to go into the field and speak to people who have been involved in terrorism.
This research seeks to paint a clearer picture of the adversary in order to better inform counterterrorism policy. Each one of us has expertise in a different yet overlapping area.
I've always been a firm believer that if you want to do the best possible job, you have to bring together the best possible team, and I'm convinced that we've done that for this project.
We scheduled 3,689 final exams at University Park alone.
Last year, the faculty taught 30,669 class sections.
And awarded 18,326 degrees university-wide.
And 2.5 million ice cream cones were eaten.
After all those classes, everyone needs a treat.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a good day. Good stuff.
Penn State faculty members are making an impact on the world one student at a time. At Penn State School of International Affairs, Dr. Tianjana Malua is helping prepare graduate students to take leadership positions in the increasingly interconnected and global society. His experience as legal advisor to the Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights provides a unique perspective on the challenges faced around the world.
Our primary interest is in training students to understand the imperatives and the qualities of leadership from an international perspective. We have quite a number of students who are doing internships in other countries. We have a student in Israel working with communities in a kibbutz. We have a student in Germany who is working with an institute that deals with security issues. And we have a student right here in the United States who is working with peacekeeping operations. Penn State has always been in the forefront of producing leaders. And I think the School of International Affairs can only contribute to the production of more leaders as we go along.
At Penn State Brandywine, distinguished professor of political science Dr. Stephen Simbala is helping shape the fields of international security studies, defense policy, and intelligence.
I have two main goals for my students. I want them to be able to connect dots across different kinds of readings, different kinds of concepts. The second thing would be, I hope students come out of my classes feeling a sense of a more responsible citizenship, more willing to vote, to take part in the political process, to join a political party, to campaign, or running for Congress. You know, wouldn't that be wonderful?
We are #1 for website hits on Google, Yahoo, and Ask.
We are ranked #1 in video search results for YouTube, Google Video, and Yahoo.
And we're #1 on social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter.
Technology has changed the way we teach, learn, work, communicate, and connect. Dr. Janice Light, Distinguished Professor of Communication Sciences and Disorders at Penn State, is using technology to help disabled children learn to communicate.
Imagine for a moment if you were unable to speak, unable to communicate with others. You would have incredible frustration, really be locked in, unable to connect with others. This is the experience for many of the children who come to us who have special needs. We've worked with some children as young as 6 months old, and we've introduced them to assistive technology, and they've developed the foundations of language, learned to read and write and type, and in fact, they've entered school as readers and writers well ahead of their typically developing peers because of the early intervention using assistive technologies.
1, 2. When we started working with Dr. Light and it started to come out, things just started clicking, and I was communicating more.
Dr. Light has given us hope. She really opened up Anna's mind and opened up Anna's willingness to learn.
Want to spell Toby?
We see a brighter future for Anna. We're very grateful for the hope that Penn State has given us for our daughter.
At Penn State Fayette, nursing students work in the new state-of-the-art biomedical technology building. Enrollment in Penn State's undergraduate nursing program has increased 20% over the last 4 years. And at University Park, our graduate program has more than doubled in size.
Nurses are in the prime position to make changes locally, globally. So we're here to focus people in the right direction to maintain their current health status and hopefully improve it for long duration.
Penn State is the largest single contributor to Pennsylvania's economy.
Penn State's economic impact on Pennsylvania, $17 billion.
With 44,000 full and part-time employees, Penn State is the largest non-governmental employer in Pennsylvania.
Universities like ours struggle with balance. How do we maintain the momentum of a leading research institution and continue to reach out to the people of the Commonwealth without sacrificing our primary mission of educating our students? We continue to have as a goal being the leading university in the integration of teaching, research, and service. And at the same time, we recognize our position as the single largest contributor to the state's economy. Consider the economic impact of research by Penn State scholars studying the Marcellus Shale in the Appalachian Basin.
Pennsylvania is incredibly blessed in having a gas shale called the Marcellus that is thick, extensive throughout the state, and at the right depth of burial and thermal maturity for gas production. My research on the Marcellus had the immediate impact of taking the value of a lease from $100 almost immediately up to $2,500 an acre.
So we're going to talk about the geology, like I said, and talk about this Marcellus Shale.
The value of education in this process is absolutely huge.
So a lot of new capacity is being built.
After the educational process from Penn State, we've been able to generate about an extra $200 million in the difference between what their first offers were and what the final outcome was with the leases. Penn State has a lot to offer to develop more of that resource and keep more of those energy dollars, number one, here in the United States and more importantly here in Pennsylvania.
Human development is another Penn State priority. We offer a wide range of university-based activities that include 4-H, summer sports camps, and arts and cultural events. From new acquisitions at the Palmer Museum of Art to a historic performance with artists Emanuel Axe, Itzhak Perlman, and Yo-Yo Ma, to the Penn State Laureate Program, the arts bring us together and enrich our lives. Each year, these Penn State activities attract nearly 1 million visitors and generate $1.73 billion for the state's economy. And when you get that many Nittany Lions together, you can hear the roar.
Penn State has earned 63 national team championships, including 6 in the last 2 years.
In the last 15 years, 3,312 student athletes have earned academic All Big Ten honors, including me, Stefan Wisniewski.
Attendance at Beaver Stadium since 1960 is over 23 million.
And there's still only one cheer.
We are!
Last year, Penn State teams shook the stands at stadiums and arenas from coast to coast. Our intercollegiate teams had a remarkable year for titles and trophies. Our NCAA champion women's volleyball team was called
a perfect Penn State Nittany Lion team.
Our men's basketball team won the National Invitational Tournament and set a school record for victories. And the men's and women's fencing team won their 11th NCAA championship. Our scholar athletes have given us another reason to be proud: academics. Nittany Lion student athletes are among the leaders nationally for their excellence in the classroom.
When you do well in the classroom, it makes you feel better about going into practice or going into a game. Feeling good about the stuff that you've done off the court definitely carries over onto what you're doing on the court.
Penn State students have donated 5 million hours of service throughout the Commonwealth,
through hundreds of student service organizations university-wide.
While the 4,555 members of the fraternity and sorority community
contributed their time and talent to a wide range of philanthropic causes.
And Penn State employees have contributed $130 million annually in donations and volunteer services.
Penn State's first president, Evan Pugh, called Penn State the people's institution, and that commitment to society is evident today.
The Lady Lions have a strong commitment to community service, and it's really important that we do everything that we can to get out and touch people. Really getting out and building relationships with people, building relationships with organizations, so that they understand that the Lady Lion basketball program really wants to have an impact. They support us, we support them, and it's a family. That's the Penn State way.
Penn State is consistently among the leading universities, sending its graduates to the Peace Corps, AmeriCorps, and Teach for America. In addition, Penn State students serve others locally and globally through hundreds of clubs, organizations, and activities. Service also plays a key role in Penn State's highly ranked supply chain program. The United States Marine Corps has turned to Penn State to lead the Marine Corps Logistics Education Program.
Our key role in these programs is to bring ideas and concepts that they may not have been exposed to, particularly logistics and supply chain experience from the commercial sector.
Things have changed in the way we fight wars, and it's much more akin to what's happening in the private sector, that speed to get there and make it happen. They're able to, one, deploy much faster than everywhere before, and secondly, when they're on the battlefield, they're able to support those troops better than they ever have before. It's a really proud thing for us to be able to participate in this program.
Thon is the largest student-run philanthropy in the world.
We've raised over $775 million for the Future, a campaign for Penn State students.
We have the largest alumni association in the world, and we're #1 in the number of alumni donors.
75% of undergrad students last year received financial aid to help pay for their education at Penn State.
And for that, we have just 2 words: thank you.
To help address the challenges of affordability and accessibility, we are pursuing our most ambitious fundraising campaign in Penn State history. For the Future, the campaign for Penn State students. At the heart of this campaign is the priority to make Penn State the top student-centered research university in America. Despite the current economic climate, Penn State's alumni and friends are continuing to support the university enthusiastically. Our supporters have built state-of-the-art facilities and programs, created new scholarships, fellowships, professorships, and faculty chairs, and have invested in research, technology, and outreach. Such giving is testimony to the loyalty and generosity of Penn Staters.
We find Penn Staters everywhere. We find them in science, we find them in the arts, we find them in entertainment.
Penn State faculty work in so many areas that contribute to making life better for people in Pennsylvania, for people throughout the world.
Penn State can change the world through advanced research, through outreach, through creating new technologies, and to help educate the next generation.
It's the people. I mean, it's a great place to work. The people are, just a great family.
And it's not just, the 100 student service organizations or the millions of dollars that are raised. There are individual students doing small deeds every day, 1 hour, $1, 1 vote, 1 person at a time. And I think that collectively is how Penn State changes the world.
Penn State provides us with a wonderful set of resources, brings together a great set of folks, and together we can really make an impact.
We are worldwide. We change the world because of our size and scale, but more importantly, we change the world by changing individual lives for the better, and that's what we do best.
Whether it's in government, whether it's in science, whether it's just somebody who's trying to help some other people do a better job. So we've had a tremendous, tremendous impact on the world, and we're getting better all the time.
154 years since our founding.
100 words in the Penn State alma mater.
1 mascot. 1 mission.
1 university. While this has been a year of challenges, it has also brought out the best in the Penn State community. Educational excellence, research and scholarship, dedicated service. We are changing the world. We are Penn State.